Oh, looks like it's firing up. Let's give this a second, see what it's doing here. But everything looks good to me. Rock on. We are back in the shop. Welcome everybody. Hey, it's Tom from Inspiration Metalworks. Doing a live stream. It's Saturday afternoon, getting into early evening, but yeah, just thought I would share in the day a little bit because I got some parts running on the Haas back there. It's going to be running for probably another half hour, 45 minutes on this one part. And I thought, you know what? Why not do something constructive with my time? I had been cleaning up, stuff like that, which was good. Needed to do that. But I decided, hey, you know what? Let's do something a little more fun. Might need to give you some fusion lessons. Yeah, you know what? Next time you're at the house. Actually, you know what we're going to do today? We're going to do a fusion lesson. So, perfect timing. Nice, Eric. Want to play games? I got a game for you. I tell you what we're going to do. Let's do it. Stop by to say hi. Yeah, Sean. I don't blame you. All right, so you guys should be able to see my my screen now. Just doing a little test on that, but yeah, we're going to do that in just a second. We're going to hop on over there. But what we're going to do today, since I am, bored. I brought up a little while ago that I was going to work on the Titans of CNC, the Academy stuff that's available as professional development. I did a video a little while back, I'll put a link up in the recording at least, on lesson 1M. Actually, it's around here somewhere. Yeah, it's right here, on this guy right here, right, lesson 1M. We knocked that one out, and I think it came out pretty good. But again, it's fun making shiny stuff, making widgets. But the whole point of this is actually to do some professional development. And so went ahead, I printed off, got the prints. Actually, if you guys want to take a look at that, I'll go through the prints with you guys, but we'll do that in just a minute. So yeah, we've got the prints. We'll go through the drawings and start working on the doing the drawing for this today. I don't think I'm going to do everything today. I do have, again, got some parts running, but thought I would just show you how I go through it. It's, again, and this is live, so I might screw things up. We'll see. Guess we'll just have to find out. With that, let's get started. So let me switch views. We'll go to both views here for just a minute. And let me bring up, so the way that the Academy works is they do 3 different prints. So what you'll see on the screen, I'll point it out here. So the first stage, they want you to basically do your outline here, and they call out a few things, right? So if you're looking at your tolerances, all that's in here. We're going to do sort of 60-61. Looks like stock size here is a 1 inch by 2 inch by 5.1 inches, right? Just a machine finish, nothing fancy. It looks like we've got a 3/4 of an inch depth, overall. So it's basically a rectangle, right? We do a 1/4 inch chamfer on all the corners here. However, it also puts an 1/8 inch radius on each of these to give it, and you can see it in the drawing here, or in the ISO view, right? You can see that we do a radius, so it's not a sharp edge, right? Nothing fancy, right? I mean, this one goes pretty quick. And so I think what we'll do is we'll get that done. Step 2, we go in and we're adding to that drawing, right? So now we're adding in the holes here. So it looks like it's drilled and tapped, right? So, and looking at it, it's 1/4 inch, so 1/4 20. We're going down 3/8 of an inch. So it doesn't look too bad at all. And the last one is to put these slots in. And some of these callouts like break all edges with a 10 thousandths chamfer. So that's just go around all these edges here, 10th out chamfer. It also means you're going to break these edges here with that chamfer. So we'll do that with the end mill as we're going through. What else do we see? Oh no, sorry, it's giving a radius call out on that, right? What else are we seeing? Am I missing anything? Let's bring the chat back up. Nothing new in chat? Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty straightforward, right? So I guess we should get started. Bring up Fusion. I'm going to start the first thing I always do, let's just save this thing. So this is lesson 2M. All right, so now that's going to kick off the autosave function. Right? If you don't actually save it the first time, it's not going to do that. So we'll start with the sketch. And so I put it on the XY plane. And we're going to use a rectangle, 2-point rectangle. And I'm not going to worry about dimensioning it yet. Well, yeah, we can do that. So it's a 2-inch by 5-inch, right? So 5-inch. There's our rectangle, right? Honestly, at this point, we could stop right here and we're done. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this a little differently because I like the way that he called out. Let me undo that. The way that he called out his dimensions, he's using a point here. So 2-inch by 5-inch. Okay, yeah, so his 0, 0 in the drawing, if we go back to the initial drawing here, you'll notice he's putting that here. So let's keep that work coordinate system the same, because when we come in here to do these holes, if you notice, it's telling us those distances from that corner. Right, so let's keep that nice and simple. So we got our rectangle. You can add some of these features at any point. You can come in and do fillets, chamfers, stuff like that. So you could, from that point, come in and draw lines and do this. But what we're going to do, let's just press pull. We know it's 0.750. There it is. All right, so there's our rectangle. Now we can modify and give it some chamfers. Right? So we'll select our corners, and that chamfer distance, you notice we got that little hover over window here, right? That is a 1/4-inch chamfer. And now there's putting a radius of 0.125, so we'll do a fillet. And we're going to do the same thing. Let's grab all those corners. I might have to go back to that one real quick. Rotate that around. You notice how when I hover over, it just goes ahead and shows up there. I like that feature. All right, so that's actually the first drawing, right? Just that fast. All right, so now let's put some holes in. Easiest way to do that is, had I extruded, you know what? Let's extrude this in the opposite direction. This will make it a little easier. So we're going to say -750. And I think, so in general, and I don't know if you guys caught that. So I went back to the timeline and I edited it in the timeline. It just kept everything else that I did after the fact there. But that means that corner, that top corner right there is the same, it's going to be the same place. So we know that all of our features are going to start from there and start coming down. So let's go back to that sketch and let's put some points in. So we're going to add a point, and we know that there are 6 holes. So let's just randomly put some holes in here. All right. So there's our points, and now we can press D for dimension, or you can use the button here. And we know that from here to here, that's called out as 2.215. We're in drawing number 2 now, 2.125. And from here to here is 2.875. me just do a quick check and chat. RJ, hey, how's it going? Hey Daniel, it's good to see you guys. Okay, so right now I'm just going to do all of our distances from this side, and then I'm going to do our distances from the top. So just hang with me a little bit. This one is 0.9. No, wait, that's 2 inches. And then this one is the same as this one. So you notice if I click on it, it fills in as D7, right? So if I were to move this dimension, it'll move that as well. Do the same thing here. This one is at 3 inches. This dimension is the same as this dimension. Done. All right, so we've got our spacing that way. Now let's get our spacing in the y-axis. So from here to here is 350. This is the same. There we go. Same thing. It's 0.975. Now I could also cheat a little bit, and I could say horizontal, vertical, right? So I could go to this one and say line up. Say this one's lined up, right? Oh, that was already there in the dimension, so it's not going to do anything. So that's another way that you can do that. Let's do our dimension again, here to here. Oops. Dimension from this point to that point. What's it doing? There we go. And this one is supposed to be 1.7. And then we'll use that horizontal vertical to line that one up. So there's our points, so we can stop our sketch. We do want to see that sketch though, because now we're going to create some holes. All right, so we'll go in and create a hole. And it's going to be, that's kind of big. So 0.201 is the drill depth. It's doing depth first. Let's see, depth is 3/8. Diameter is 201. And what we'll do is we'll press Control, click on all of these spots. And there's our holes. We can modify that or create, threads for that, full length. And this is a 1/4 and same thing. Select those 6. Okay, so there's our holes. Let's see, let me go back to chat. Let's see what everybody's doing. Okay, you guys are just watching along. And I'm getting attacked by this mosquito. Gotcha. Bastard. Okay. Let's take a look at this drawing again. I'll make sure I got everything. So if you're following along, I'm on this drawing here. So we're going to take a look to see if I missed anything, if anything else was called out. Holes. Let's verify that. I'll look at my sketch again, make sure I got my distances right. 2 inches, 2.875, 2.125, that's good. 0.975, 1.7, okay, that all looks good. All right, so now we are on our third drawing, right, number 3. And it looks like here we're going to put those slots in and put those little radiuses in, radii. Let's say it right. So let's go back to that sketch. It's starting to look kind of busy. You know what? Let's add a new sketch just for grins, because that is looking a little on the busy side. Okay, you don't have to do that, frankly. Just so you guys know, I'm just doing it this way because, well, I feel like it. All right, so let's draw some lines. I pressed L for line, and I'm just going to start drawing some lines here, just to say that there is something here. Could have done rectangles as well. Just the way I chose to do it this time. And we're going to dimension this, and we know, whoops, what did I just do? D for dimension, there we go, this to this is supposed to be 1/2 inch. And again, remember, we're working from that corner, right? So this next one is supposed to be at, 1.5. I guessed that one right. That's funny. All right, our next dimension, it's that line to this line. Mosquitoes are back. 3.5, wow. That's kind of neat. Just eyeballed that. If this one comes up at 4.5, and you guys watched me do this, I just eyeballed it. If it comes up at 4.5, there we go, 4.3, see? Man, I was starting to get a little cocky there. Just so you can see that that's at 4.5. Okay, let's stop the sketch. Let's go back to our regular view. We'll turn those other sketches off. Whoops, we need that one on still. And we'll, just so, if you guys are following, right, just so you know, I clicked here, I pressed Control key, and then I clicked the other one, right? Now I'm going to right click, we press pull, and that is actually supposed to go down to -400. Can you guys see that little mosquito that keeps flying around here? All right, -400. Yeah, good. Only thing left are doing a radius, doing the radii fillet. This edge, this edge, this edge. Hover over, you got the edge there, this edge, do the same thing here. There's our 8 edges, and it's supposed to get a, what, 020, 0.02. That's it. All right, sanity check, because, hey, that's loud. All right, here's my sanity check. Let's take a look at it. It looks an awful lot like that, right? That's the same thing. I think so. I think that's it. Let's go back to video. All right. Click on the view cube. Yeah, I did know about that. Is my video working right? It looks like it froze on me. Let me go back with my desktop. Huh. Looks like video froze. Are you guys seeing video missing the other edge of the 0.1 chamfer? Yeah, okay. Hang on just a second on that. I'm going to go to desktop only for a second. Let's see. I'm going to cheat a little bit. All right. I don't know if you guys are still with me or not, but must be the mosquito's fault. Yeah, I know. It's awesome. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Actually, is the cable got pulled out. And what's bothering me here is, for whatever reason, tell you what, you guys are going to see what I'm seeing. So let's transition to this. When I look at this webcam, it's not. I'm going to deactivate it and activate it. There we go. We're back. There we go. Transition, video only. Okay, so PTSG, the chamfers, the typical edge, right? So I'm not going to put that in the drawing. I'm actually going to do that in CAM, right? So yeah, the plan is to, I'll just do something like that. I would just do that in CAM. I wouldn't put that in the drawing unless I had to give the model to someone. There's that mosquito again. Thing. Okay, yeah, so typically I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't put it in the drawing because, you know, I know that I'm going to break those edges, but you know, is it really worth putting it in the model? I don't know, right? Again, I guess it just depends on what you're doing the model for. So yeah, I don't know if you guys wasn't planning on doing the cam today because I do need to go check on this part. It's sounding like it's awfully close to being done. Not quite. I'm watching that light right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me see if I can point it out. That light right there. Yeah. But yeah, and no, in PTSG, which I'm not sure if I know who you are. You look really, the name looks really familiar. I'm sure I've talked to you before, but I'm trying to remember, like, if I know your name. If I'm not calling you by name, I'm sorry. I do apologize for that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a note on the drawing for that. It says that you're going to break all the edges with a 10th thou chamfer, but I just do it in cam, and you know, it works out just fine. Yeah, so with that, I'm trying to decide. I've been listening on this one. I'm gonna have to go check on that part. If you guys don't mind just walking with me for a minute, or actually you'll see me walk over there. Audio should still work. I've got my handy dandy mic on, but let me check real quick. I'll be right back. Cool. It's almost done. Yeah, so that part, I'm doing a slotting operation. It's an 1/8 inch slot, and it's 1.2 inches deep. And when I originally did the drawing on this thing, I thought I was going to use a slitting saw for this operation, till I realized I didn't have one. I went through all this, and I've got a 187, I've got an 095, I don't have the size that I need. So I've got this tool stuck out because it's also the other part. It's got to go 1.2 inches deep, and it's a round part, and yeah, it's kind of crazy. But it's getting there. I've already done one. It came out great. Got the second one running. Then I'm going to swap it, put a third one in. I've got it set to automatically shut off, which is why I'm keeping an eye on it, because if you don't press the button within 30 seconds after it finishes, it just shuts off. So yeah, kind of keeping an eye on that. You guys interested in doing the cam on this one together? I'd be glad to do it. I just wasn't sure what you guys were interested in doing. I just thought I'd share doing this drawing with you guys. Yeah, something fun. Little something for Saturday afternoon. Give this a second. Give you a chance to buffer, and give me a chance to catch up and drink something. It's one of those days. Yeah, okay. It's a good day, actually. Got a lot of stuff done today. Did you guys, did you see my Instagram post? I don't know if anybody saw the Instagram post, but I got to cut some fun stuff today for folks because it's a friend of mine's daughter's birthday, and she's big into Star Wars stuff. So yeah, if you didn't see it, my Instagram account is just TJ Zellick. So put it in the chat too for you guys. But TJZELICK, and that's my account on Instagram. Check it out. In this case, I wasn't rooting for the good guys, but it was good. So Dan, you said do the cam. All right, let's do that. Let's go back to. I think, you know what, I'm just going to do desktop only. I'm not going to, I don't know if it helps. Well, yeah, I guess I'll do both. All right, so you guys should be able to still see me in here. We've saved this. We've got the part there. As was pointed out, we did not put the chamfers on these three portions yet because we're going to do that in cam. So let's come into cam, to the drop down. Now we're in cam mode. And the first thing we do is we do a setup. And we know that this particular part from stock, I'm going to say that it's a fixed size box. It is 5.1 inches wide. based on the stock call out on this. Now, obviously, change this to what is set in what you have for your piece of stock. I thought I had a piece of stock for, well, let's take a look. I had a piece of, dropping stuff everywhere. I had a piece of stock. Oh, did I just break the camera? Let me check real quick. I've got to plug this in a different spot. Is it still working? Yeah, okay. Man. So 1 inch to 2020. What's my width on that? Yeah, this one's only 4 inch. So this was one of the blanks I was using for the for lesson 1M. So I'll have to cut some material. But that's fine. We're going to say it's offset from top, and we're going to say that it is, let's say, I'm just going to go 10. Say it's 10 from the top. Let's set our coordinate. I know, yeah. So that's there. Oh, our stock here. Center. This is at center. Offset 50 thousandths from there, which is center really, but and depth. We'll center that. You know what? I did something wrong. I'm going to leave it like this, but we're going to go back to the design, the model. I'm going to go to this initial sketch because I set this to 2 inches. It's not. It's 1 inch 950. Right? Now, if we stop this sketch, let's double check everything else because it may have thrown everything else off. That looks right, that's right. That looks right. Daniel, that was just for you. I did the pivot from here. Okay, I think we're right. I think we're okay. So we'll go back to the cam mode. And that was centered. Let's just do a sanity check just to make sure. Yeah, see, thought I said it. Oh, you know what? It's because I changed. Why is it not letting me choose that point? You guys seeing that? That's interesting. Huh. Okay. Anybody else catching that? I'm going to use the model box point. That's why. All right, let me check the chat and see if you guys knew the answer to that. I didn't see anything. Okay. Model box point. Okay, that's fine. So we just have to remember, right, when we come in and we touch off on this, like, I don't know, I'm still debating on this, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it, but I'm still debating. I always use a stock box point. I get Titans' view on doing it off of what the actual model is, because once you face this, how are you going to pick that up again, right? So it makes good sense to me to do it that way. But yeah, I get it. But we're set. So X is 50 thousandths. Or, you know what, let's offset from the front. And let's say, I just did offset from back, just to see what that is. You know, once it's there from center, it calculates it. So I just want to know, all right, I'm 50 thousandths and 35 thousandths, so I can put that in the setup sheet later. So when I touch off, I can figure that out. All right, so there's our first step. That's set. We'll face it. I'm going to choose from my library that I have set, and you'll notice I'm using my cloud libraries because I'm all over the map on this. Let's use a Superfly. It's only 10 thousandths. We're there, 2,500 RPM, that's fine. 15 inches a minute, looks fine. Should give us a nice, pretty... dude, there's mosquitoes today. All right, should give us a nice, pretty look here. You know what? I'm gonna pass extension. Let's go an extra inch. Okay, so that'll give us a nice lead in, lead out. Make sure that we finish coming off the whole edge there. So we faced it. I'm gonna spot and drill. I'll do these parts first because I can. Actually, no, let's do it a little differently. Let's see. Let's do our 3D adaptive clearing. Now I'm going to choose, I've got a go-to on this one, which is it's a 3/8 inch end mill here. I think this one, I've got both IMCO, I've also got some, what are they called, illumigators, the YG1 illumigator. They both work really well. Okay, so let's take a look. We're gonna come over here, optimal load. Let's take a look at that. So if you don't know, I right clicked and went into this. I know that my optimal load on this is actually 5%. You know, I'm on a 440 on this machine. I'm not using the VF2. So yeah, I keep it pretty lightweight. We're gonna do maximum depth of cut. So we'll turn on flat area detection. Optimal, that's good. Maximum roughing step down. You can do all kinds of stuff here. I'm just gonna say it's 0.76, 0.77, because I want it to do the full depth of cut. Right? Machine cavities, use slot clearing, flat area detection, that's fine, order by depth. Stock to leave, I'm gonna say I want it to leave 10 thousandths, but I don't want it to leave anything on the floor. Right? 10 thousandths on walls, nothing on the floor. And we're gonna do a chip load. Let's keep it kind of light on this one, just because I want to make sure everything works okay. I know there are times where I will, you know, just blast through that at 90, but all right. While that's calculating, let's go check on chat. If something that needs fixed, you can change selection type, then go back. Yeah, I'm not sure, Daniel. I'll have to check on that. All right. Well, that's calculating. Let me go check on time on this part here. Where are we? Ooh, this might be the last pass. We're pretty close to the last pass. I just gotta get back over there within 30 seconds to press reset so it doesn't shut off. Okay. That looks fine. This is still working away. Look at that. Where are we at? It's only 56%. It's gonna take a long time like this. I might do this a little differently. Maybe. Because this would be fine if I didn't want to have to think. You know, if I wanted to just let the machine run. Did I do something on step down? Look how many steps, look at the passes. Something's not right. Maximum roughing step down, 0.77. Okay. So why is it then at this 30%? You guys see that, right? Whoop. Didn't mean to do that. There we go. Okay. That was weird. Ah. Aluminum chips. Awesome. It's one of those days. Ah, here. Okay, so here's a mistake on my part. I told it to do flat area detection, but I've already faced this off. So, did I turn on rest machining from setup stock? I should have done from previous operations. And the other thing that you can do is you can also tell it in your heights to go like a 1 thou below the top, and that should also correct that. Let's see what this does. Can't believe I just did that. Yeah? Okay. I get it. Is that done? Okay. So that doesn't look too bad. What does it say here? Rest material adjustment, yeah, okay, that's fine. All right, so now we want to do some contouring to clean up the other part. So we can just do 2D contour, and let's work our way in. So we'll start from the bottom, right? And heights. You know what I meant to do on this other one? Let's go back. I meant to go 10 on, go a little bit past the bottom there. And then from there, we'll do a 2D contour here. So when we do that, oh, hang on. I gotta press that button. Oh, I didn't realize it was gonna beep at me like this. Good, okay. I'll get the next part going before I leave. Sorry about that, folks. All right, so when I come in and I do this, on this one, I'm also gonna do a negative, but I'm gonna keep it just off that floor. I know that end mill has got a little bit of a radius on there, so this is gonna keep it nice and clean with that. Passes, doesn't need any special passes. Yep, that looks fine. Okay, probably could select the other ones that I wanted, but in this case, I wanted to be able to have a little bit more control over what I was doing here. I'm not really sure, did I get that? Did you guys see that? It didn't catch the whole thing. Let's make sure that it got all of them. Need one of those fancy 3D connection things. Whoa. That one. Man. That's interesting. I wonder why I did that. Okay, so here, now I'm going to come on to this one and I'm going to say just off the floor on that one, right? So we'll clean that up a little bit. And that'll do those insides. Everything else looks fine. Okay. So there's that. Now, from here, we'll come in and let's do our chamfering. So this is that 10 thou chamfer. Switch just my tool 25. It's called out in, I need to go in and change this in the tool library. Okay, so this was called out on the drawing, but I didn't put it in the model itself. So there's that. And while we've got that tool in, we'll come in and we'll do some spot drilling. All right. auto select same diameter. Top bottom height is from the top. Now it's 1/4 so it's a 201, and we want, is the chamfer called out on that particular one? I don't see a specified chamfer, so then we're going to go with that 10 thou. So the math on that, 201 divided by 2 plus 10, so we'll say I want it to go negative 105, let's go 106. That's 105.5, right? So negative 106 from the whole top. So that's our spot and chamfer. So there we're good. I'm going to cheat a little bit on this next part. Actually, I'll do my drilling and then I'll cheat. So let's see. I did all the hard work on thread milling already. So I typically actually use a 209. It's a little bit less engagement, but I'll use this 204. Right. We're going to use that. We'll auto select, right? For our heights, it's a whole bottom, that's fine, right? Actually, I'm going to tell it to go just a little bit under. Do drill tip through bottom. Okay, so that gives me the depth I need for the 375, right? And I'm going to do a chip breaking. All right, so now I'm going to cheat a little bit because I've already worked out the math on a lot of this stuff. So I'm going to, let's see. Oh, I don't have it in here as a template. Well, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to save my work just so I don't forget, and we're got to keep an eye on this time here as well. I'm going to go into another project that I've been working on. I think you guys have seen me work on this one a lot. But I've already worked out exactly what needs to happen for that for this drilling, right? For that right there. So I come in this guy. I'm just going to copy this, and we'll go back in and we'll take a look at that. We'll paste it. Now that one, I know I need to do some editing anyways because I want to do a little bit different. So I've got the thread mill already set up. We're going to choose our holes. Thread mill. I'm going to get bit by another mosquito. And let's look at the actual, let's see, heights. 370 happen to be the same, that same height. Okay. I already know what I need for my offset, but I'm going to tell it to do it in multiple passes this time. We'll just do two step over, and I tell it to repeat the final pass. So technically what I'm going to get is 3 passes here. So 2 passes plus a spring pass. I know technically you can do this when you're thread milling, especially on 6061. That thread mill will just chews through it. If you just do a standard pass with a spring pass, at least my experience has been that it's worked out really, really well for me. But in this case, I'll just add an additional one and say OK. So it's going to calculate, do all our thread milling, and technically we should be done. Right? So if we were to, I can close this other one here, close that, go back to our Titans folder. So let's save my work. And let me just check chat real quick. Hi everybody, there's no automatic calculation for creating chamfers with the drill tip. No, there's not, but again, with a 90 degree, with that 90 degree chamfer mill drill there, that it makes it easy enough because the math on it is just half, right? So it's really, really pretty easy. And is that Yonko or Jonko? Jonko. Hello. But yeah, okay. So let's take a look. Let's actually simulate this. We'll turn on stock. You know what? I'm at the wrong spot. Let's go all the way back. I hate it when I do that. All right, let's do simulation. We'll turn on stock. We're going to use, I find the wall paint one actually shows up best. But we can just kind of come through. It's going to work through that. I'm going to turn off the model so we can see what it's really doing. All right, so it's going to do those corners. I'm going to keep getting attacked by mosquitoes, which is awesome. All right, that's looking pretty good. I might speed it up a little bit here. I just don't know how it's going to stream when I do this. That's my big concern. We'll try it. This is going to take a long time. And because it's using, it's actually using, or going to create a rather fine chip, I might have, chip evacuation might actually be a problem here, to be honest. It's something that I'm going to have to watch for. Notice it didn't finish over here too. Let's see what it does. It might come back and do that after it's done on this side. We'll just have to see, because it's going to want to climb cut it. So we'll see what it does. This looks okay. Let's slow it back down to normal. See what it does here. That's okay, that's okay. Yeah, it's because it wanted to climb cut it. All right, good. I'm starting to figure out the way that Fusion works. That's scary, the way it thinks on its cam. All right, there's our finish pass there. We'll do our finish pass on the slots. So far, so good. Doing our chamfers. Oh, you know what? I did not set my chamfer depth. You see that? This is why we do this. This is also why I wanted to make sure I turn the model off. So the default for these chamfers is a 40 thousandths chamfer. So our chamfers are wrong. All right. Do our thread mill, and it'll do that 3 more times. If I look at info here, this is saying it's going to take a long time. 23, almost 24 minutes to make this part on my 440. Which, I'll be honest, that actually seems about right. For a part like this, I could probably speed that process up. Because what I did, let me turn the model back on. Let's fix the problem that I had, and then let's talk about, or my mistake. 10 thousandths, I'm going to bump that up to 0.8 on the cutter. All right, we'll fix that. So let's talk about ways that we can approach this and try and get it done a little faster. Is thread mill supposed to be bottom to top? You know what? It does do bottom to top. This is end mill on the corner radius dropping on the stock. Corner radius. No, it's not dropping into the stock. It's not just plunging right in. But yeah, I can't use a tap on this one. It does not support rigid tapping. Right, so thread milling is the only way on these to do it. There's not enough Z height to use a tapping head, and you can't use rigid tapping, so there's no way to do that. But there's a couple of things that we could do to speed this up. So this slot, right? I'm using adaptive clearing for that slot. And you see how it's coming through and it's basically shaving stuff away. Now what I could do is I'm going to come in and do a slot, but I'm going to use my Superfly, or not Superfly, I'm going to use my shear hog. Right? So here's my shear hog. I'm going to do my roughing with that. So shear hog. Let's bring this down to something reasonable, because I'm going to be doing a full engagement. Pocket selections. Why is it going out there? You guys seeing that? Ah, that's why. We need to make sure that it's an open pocket. Why is it doing that? Okay, let's try this again. Start here, go there. All right, we come back and we're You're seeing this, right? It's so weird. You guys seeing that? Any small... Okay, looking at this too. You're getting a 480p, huh? Yeah, see, this is a full HD monitor, so yeah, it's kind of small. I'll work on that for next time. Yeah, this is kind of strange. I'm definitely not liking this. Okay, let's see if we can tell it to go a certain direction here. So I'm going to try and guide it through the actual direction I want it to go. We'll see if this makes a difference. We'll see if Daniel is over there in New Zealand laughing at me for this. Okay, so here's our problem, right? We can make it closed. Yeah, there we go. So there's one. Yeah, that was it. Okay. So there's our issue, folks. It's because we have to specifically call out the path. Just make sure. Okay. Now, I didn't mean to say okay there, but that's okay. No toolpath. Let's come back and edit, and let's make sure we're doing everything right. So, something doesn't look right on this side. If you notice, this one has got the flat, this one doesn't, right? So let's double check. There should be a closed contour. 3. Goes there. Goes there. What am I missing? Oh, what am I doing wrong here? Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. I'm not seeing that. I'm gonna delete this one. Just to see. Okay, so let's try this again. I want it to be a closed contour. There we go. All right. I figured I was doing something silly. Okay, so shear hog. We want it to do multiple depths. It's going to come down, yeah, 40 thousandths per is fine. That's a pretty standard thing. I do want it to leave. It's not giving me 4 thousandths. Let's give it 10 thousandths, although Is that going to do the floor? Maybe too wide. I didn't think about that. It's 1 inch. No, that should have been fine. Okay, forget the slotting. Let's do this in a little bit easier way. 2D adaptive clearing. This floor and this floor we're going to use, and now I know I just blew through this, the shear hog. It's a 1 flute face mill. Or kind of like a, yeah, it's more like a face mill. I know somebody was asking that earlier. It can, and it's kind of a mix between an end mill and a face mill, right? Let's move this. Hello, move. Oh, I didn't press OK yet. I said 25 inches a minute, 25, 25. That's okay. That's good. Bottom height is okay. Stock to leave. 10 thousandths there. It gives a beautiful floor finish, by the way. And we're going to say that I don't want it to go more than 50 thousandths depth of cut, right? All right. Now, let's move this up here. All right, so there's that. Now we'll regenerate this. Actually, let's edit this because now I wanted to know that stuff. Oh, rest machining from previous operations. Okay, so we'll regenerate that. Let me check on chat while we're at it. Okay, good. Tennessee. Yeah. This Fusion calculates a lot of it, but I use the same tools an awful lot, so frankly, I know what a lot of them are, what feeds and speeds are. All right, so now it's just coming in and doing some of the cleanup there, contours. And if I were to look at machining time, it didn't save much time, did it? 22 minutes, right? So that only saved me about a minute, and it added a tool change, which would take me, it means I've got to babysit it, right? So frankly, I think the right way to go then is take the shear hog out of it, delete, regenerate this guy, and this, this tool path, yeah, it's not pretty, but I mean, it is pretty, actually. It shows really nicely, but this was almost optimized from the start. Now, I might be able to change speeds and feeds a little bit to speed this up. But if you look at it now, if I look at machining time, 21:15. Tool change time was 1 minute 15. So actually, this is faster. And I've eliminated a tool change. So yeah, that's it. So next step would be to post it, right? So I've selected the whole setup, post. I was working on the Haas earlier, so I need to change my post to the Tormach Path Pilot, right? And put it out. So that would go into Titan. Lesson 2 MV1. And there we have it, folks. There's our deal, right? Everything's set up. I'm not going to machine this today, but that's pretty much it. So let's go back to video only. And I'm going to wrap this session up. Yeah, let me make sure. I just want to answer any questions that were still there. Yes. There we go. Sorry about that. It's got a mute button here. So yeah, Fusion does do some minimal calculations. I just got a text. I got to do that. But some of the feeds and speeds, it can help you with that based on what you want your chip load and what you want your width of cut and things like that. So a lot of it's built in, works pretty well. I think programming will be obsolete? There's a good possibility that at some point it could. I mean, I really don't know, but you know, we'll see. I think for now, there's still plenty of need for this. I think you were saying earlier that you use Mastercam, if I saw correctly. Sorry, I was jumping around. But yeah, I mean, it's good. So we use Fusion here. We also have Gibbs Cam, and you know, both work real well. But I enjoy this. I don't even know how to use Gibbs, to be perfectly honest. I do everything in Fusion, but I like it, and yeah. So anyways, I went a whole lot longer on this stream than I thought I was going to, but I had a good time, and I wanted to thank everybody for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you're not already following me on social media, there's Instagram, there's Twitter for Inspiration Metalworks, there's a Facebook page, there's all kinds of stuff. But yeah, thanks, and I'll see you again soon.